is a lot right now. Are you feeling it? We all need new tools to help us walk through the chaos with grace, ease, and compassion for each other and for ourselves. In this podcast, you'll hear from parents, educators, and other experts who can bring perspective to the monumental job of parenting. It's time to level up and be warriors for our kids and our communities. This is the Warrior Parent Podcast. I'm Marci Mitchell.
And I'm Debbie DiManno. As parents, we understand that it really does take a village to raise our kids. We hope that this podcast serves to create and support that community for you. Join us as we discuss and practice our core tools, which are proven mind-body techniques that can be used by anyone to improve your life on a daily basis.
Welcome back to the Warrior Parent Podcast. We are so happy you are joining us because today we are speaking with Shani Bahar Azulay, and she is a 25-year-old woman living in Israel, and I want to read her introduction in her own words. I was born remembering. I remembered what happened to me before I was born. I know how to bring information into the world easily, and I have the ability to know what lessons the soul of every person standing in front of me wants them to learn, and what is the mission for which they were sent to the world. And so this is going to be an amazing episode. Welcome, Shani.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so happy to be here.
All right. So Marci and we are in love with Shani. I'm just saying we've had an opportunity just to spend a little bit of time with Shani, but she has so inspired us. Marci and we feel like we are the warriors for these young generations coming forward. And I think she exemplifies everything that we know to be true about this generation of human beings coming forward, because they're going to save the planet, and Marci and I are convinced of it. So anyway, Shani, give us a little more background. Marci gave us a little bit, but give us a little more background around how you came to be so empathic and so knowledgeable about all the things that you're doing in the world right now.
So, like you said, since I was born, I remember. I thought that everyone remembered. I thought that everyone can see what that I can see, and I use it for fun. I use it for help people to make miracles and so on. And when I was in school, I'm looking for professional things to do, because I heard from my parents that if you have money, you can do whatever you want. And it's a materialistic problem. And first time in this planet, like a soul, I try to find the way to make money. And I decided that money don't need to be like in Israel, it's shekel or any kind of money. So I tried to find another kind of money, and I called it dolls. And if someone wants to pay with the dolls, he must have to take a responsibility or any kind of miracles. So one of the children in my class get out the glass option and started to see without glass, and another one solved the sugar problems, and another kind of physical and emotional option, like our responsibility to the miracles. And I'm looking for a system to describe what happened in this level. And in during the years I left it. And when I was 11 years old, my husband, I know today it is my husband.
Oh,
wow.
Because you could see that, right, at a very young age. So I sort of want to just define what you just said in case people are not quite following you. So you're born with this gift for the world, right? Your parents are like, okay, well, this is a beautiful gift, but you need to monetize it. Right. And so, but what you're knowing to be true is that you want to come and use this in a way that the world can use it. It doesn't necessarily need to be monetized, but there are other beautiful ways that you can use this gift to shape the planet, because you can see it on such a large perspective, right? You can see universally what is going on in this little we're living on. Is that sort of right?
In addition, yes, I agree with
Yeah.
you, but in addition, I think that I was so sensitive to the lake, and I didn't want to make someone feel late. And I saw that if someone pay, it feels some annoying or sad, and I was so sensitive for it. So I
Yeah.
tried to convert in another creativity ways something that feel people to feel late. So it's a
Right.
motive that guide me all my life. And when I was 11 years old, it guided me for my husband dream. I dreamed about someone that 18 years old, I was 11, and his name is Ido. And I met him when I do a lecture in 17 years old, something like that. And after 6 years, this is what happened. Today we are married 4 years.
That's
In
awesome.
same day, me and my parents watch TV news, and my parents started to feel sad at this political situation in Israel, and said how much the situation is worse and why people don't do something. And I asked my mother why people say and totally agree what you said, and anyone didn't do something. And she said me a sentence that opened me a world. She said me, so let's do it. And I started.
Let's do it.
Let's
Yes.
do it. Yes.
And
Yeah.
so what did you do? What came next? How did that open up for you?
I started to learn what is the system of the parliament in Israel, what is the problem, how can we solve all and write the alternative administration from the start. And 4 years until I was 15 years old, I write another platform to the how government need to manage without control and fear and
Yes.
hierarchical and so on.
You
And
started that when you were 11?
yes,
Wow.
Yeah, that's off the chain. And so, we all here in the States are very aware of the situation in Israel right now. And, it's mind-boggling for Marci and I to think that this is still going on in the world right now, right? Like how can we should know better, right? And it's a very depressing situation. But for those of you who are watching, you can see that Shani has this big smile on her face, and she, I'm sure, is imagining the world much differently than the one she's, sitting very close to right now with everything that's gone on.
I think that this is our job in this world. I have a lot of friends that fight and they are soldiers, and some
Yeah.
of them feel another traumatic situation that they need deep therapists. So I
Yes.
think that if I have friends, or maybe the good example is my husband's brother that out from the war without any idea, without catch any sign, and come to help me to organize a common prayer with Muslim and Jewish people. I don't think
Yes.
that ideals and the sides need to manage this world, and I think that my smile is our jobs in this world. We need to change it now. This is our job.
Yes. And
Yes.
and so, as Marci will always say it is all showing up right now to be healed, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's a
it
chaotic
is
time.
it has festered and festered and festered, and now it's showing up in this very horrific way so that it can be healed. And it's people like you, Shani,
Yeah.
who are here to do this work.
This
And
is what we love, is that this generation, this younger generation, is showing up, and all of the old ways, they're like, no, no, that's not it. They're not just saying, well, this is how we've always done it, and this is how it is, and all the attention. It's like, no, your generation, I think, is really seeing the way things could be and understanding that it doesn't have to be this way, and that that doesn't serve us anymore. Maybe it never did. A lot of it, certainly war and killing, and but here we are in 2023, ready for something better, and you are showing up as a leader for creating the map to how do we get there, which I think is just amazing and so important, so vital to humanity.
Thank you. It's so nice to hear that, because this makes me strong, because I think this is a subject of opinion, because we have a lot of ages and generations of people that work with us with many kinds of forums and heals groups. And I said, if you know to leave your opinion and to be flexible, enough flexible to believe another thing all day,
Yes.
your place is with us. Because
Yes.
if I need to catch my opinion and say, I need to realize it with all the price, this is a fear world. And we want to be flexibility. We want to do a change like a habit.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Staying open to something new, to a better way, because getting stuck in how it's always been done, or me versus you, this us and them mentality that is completely, it doesn't serve us, and it's not real because there's no us and them
Right.
in reality. So that's amazing to
Well,
talk
and
about.
the human race will not survive, right? That's pretty clear. Like,
Yeah.
right? If we don't change something now, we won't survive this, right? So, so I want to talk a little bit about you describe them as parliaments, right? Like these are ways that the younger generation can start to change things. And I know you have these parliaments, if you will, around Europe and different places. Tell us a little bit about how you organize those, and how and about the work that you're doing.
So we decided don't publish our work because we need to stay clean. So until now we didn't publish nothing. We do
Uh-huh.
it also in the we're doing it also in Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and
Discord. Yeah.
we try to take the system that I built when I was 11 years old, and to activate, to take decision, to know our opinion is not the main idea of leadership. We have jobs. Some of the group are opinions part. Some of the group are information part, and we have a job, and the result need to be a practical result. Our job is not to decide what we can do and what we cannot do. So what is
Yeah.
the solution that the
Yeah.
public need to use
Yeah.
for this option, and what is life lesson that the public and the population need to pass for use our solution. Because I can give you an example that we built a project, we called it eye therapist, and we said if we try to our eye movement, we can heal ourselves and take the responsibility of the medical part back to us, whatever we want in medical and emotional problems. So most of the forum members succeed to do it, but when we publish it, people said, I want to do it, but I don't believe that I can decide about my health and not the doctor. So many kind of life lessons meet us in the way, but we publish it in specific project whenever people need us, and try to do and not to publish because this is our job.
Yeah. So it's almost like this work that you're doing has to be, well, it has to be grassroots, right? It has to come up from the bottom, because clearly, you can't compete with, the government, because they'll just shut you down, right? Or even in, this has happened a lot in the US around, physicians, and the doctors know everything. and I had to have my own road with this to understand that I actually had a lot of the power to do a lot of the healing within myself, right? And so this is very controversial, right? And people will, love to discount me and no, you don't really have that power, and that's so silly, and all of those
Yes,
things. But
people can scared of it. Yes,
yeah,
this is the reason we try to combine whatever we need. In this year, I did a series of lecture to the doctor, and who wants to listen, find us. And we did lectures and seminars and try to combine a outer and inner solution to gap how much
Mm.
life lesson we can, because people around us that do their tasks in this world don't need to be pain or sick.
yeah,
Mm.
right. You talk a lot about soul's journey,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about that a little bit later too. But so talk about that a little bit, about and let me just, for lack of better terms, dumb this down a little bit. But so Marci and I talk about this a lot with our youth, is like, how do we help people to define their purpose in this world, right? It's not just you grow up, you raise the kids, you buy a house, you do the things, right? But really, why are you here? What is your soul's expectation for your purpose while you're here on the earth? So talk a little bit about that.
Can you permission me to give you to give an example about you?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I think yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
So if I can start with the soul exists in the place that's called the looking place, and see the earth and see the universal love here. And after, for example, Debbie, 197 lives in the earth, in the
Woo.
in
I've
the
been around
fireworks.
I've been around a lot. So is that small or is that a large number?
Uh, it's not comparison, because
Oh,
I know people with a health life and millions life. We
okay.
Wow.
didn't have option to compare. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And if you get a life from a fireworks and water works and another kind of investigation, and see the earth and see this is universal love. This is the main word of the earth characters. Let's check how can I take all the learning from all my lives and
Yes.
make and realize it here in the earth. But let's put a challenge. Let's make Debbie to forget what happened to him before she was born, and get this realize and get this learning from the gaps between what she wants and what she needs. And this
Mm.
gap manage our life, because people feel develop when they fill the gap and say, I didn't have money and now I have money. Didn't have job and now I have job. But when I fill the gap, another kind of knowledge come to my intuition. And if I don't listen and continue to another gap, I miss the life lesson.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, and then we have to come back and learn it all over again, or try to figure it out, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And you get
And the soul,
opportunities to figure it out.
and the soul see what happened without judge, and see Debbie is very busy with their life. So let's put another kind of a life lesson that Debbie can see. So if it starts with someone that walk in the street and she didn't pay attention, the next part is that she can see their husband, children, whatever, with same shirt with the person from the street. And she said,
Mm.
oh, it's an accident. What happened here? And after that, it's continue and continue, and the process end in the body. People that have body problems need to know this is the last station of life lesson, and after it will solve, after the life lesson will solve, the body
Yes.
problem will solve.
Yeah.
And
So I was true. Like, so I was very, very, very sick for a long time. And it was, I just kept trying to ignore it and trying to ignore it until eventually my system just completely shut down. In fact, no one knew what was wrong with me. I was very, very sick, but I had a NDE in that place, and all these other things showed up.
Near-death experience,
Yes. But
indeed.
people showed up. I don't know if they were real or not, but giving me messages about what I had to do now.
so after all these life lessons, after 197 any kinds of lives,
Mhm.
when your soul that looking to you 24/7, see that you don't have a gap, you don't seek anymore, and you are ready for your job,
Mhm.
your souls enter to your body and say you huge knowledge that you need to put here in this world. And anyone except of you practiced to this job. And this level of collaboration. Because many people ask me, how can I know how to realize it? What is my true job, my true relationship? It's not, it doesn't matter. Because in this level, when you don't have life lesson anymore, when you have a character about your soul, when you and your soul is one, you
Yeah.
can collaborate with him or with she. You can choose how to realize this knowledge and to give here a healing, a leadership, security, emotional methods that don't base in the methods that we know in the
Right.
outside world. And people can ask you from where you know it. This is a rememberness situation. And this is the collaborate with the souls and the human being. When we learn, the souls learn from us a lot. The being and the feeling work together, and we are doing our tasks in this world. And this level makes the history one. 197 lives can you need, I don't know how to call it, this look like this combined together and and makes your vision, and your vision include all your source knowledge, all your some of channeling, call it akashic and so on, and this is the vision.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So just so everyone knows, she had no idea we've not had this conversation before. So, right. So this is all very clear to me. And that's, yeah, I'm trying not to have a moment here because I'm crying inside a little bit. So thank you, Shani, for seeing that and being witness to that. And Marci's watched me on this journey too. So that's why we're here. Clearly, that's why we've met you. But I feel like knowing this for myself, I also want this to be true for everyone else in my world, right? I want everyone to be able to understand that. And I also have to know that maybe that's not for this lifetime for some people, right?
I want to ask you a question, Shani, about that. So Debbie is someone who's been learned lessons, and then showed up here and had these experiences. If I'm, and tell me if I'm not understanding what you said well, but that she's come through all of these challenges, and now she's filled that gap between what she wants, what she needs. She's become kind of whole with her soul, with her, which puts her into a place where she's not, if you will, in fight or flight or striving, and now she's ready to live into her purpose, to be a force for good on the planet. Is that, did I explain that kind of?
I must have to fix little something because you
Yeah.
said she came here with this challenge, but the main idea is what inside the life lesson that makes us challenge is something that we make here. We made it here. We didn't come here
Okay.
with challenge because in the soul world, we don't have a lake. And when little child found out that what he wants didn't come true necessarily, so this is what makes us to believe in lake. So the lake, the belief of lake, and the level of consciousness, this is what makes life lesson feel like challenges.
That word
This
you
is
just said, believe in what?
lake.
Lake. Lack?
Lake.
What does that mean? Tell me what that means, because that's the part I'm missing. What does lake mean?
Something that upset.
Something that's upsetting, like a
Yes.
challenge or a conflict or
Yes.
something. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like.
so what you're saying is she didn't come with that. She came
Yes.
and then that presented itself for her to go through the process. And then
Yes.
that's how she got to. So what I want to ask you then is, do you feel, because this is something that I've kind of been thinking is going on now, do you feel like there's a lot of people on the planet that are getting to that place right now, as all of this turmoil, all of this chaos, all of this violence and hurt and lack and all of the suffering, if you will, the grief. Do you feel like there's more people showing up now to be part of healing that, part of birthing something new, including like your generation, younger people, but also maybe folks more from our generation? And maybe, that's it, in the scheme of it, that's not even real. We're all probably, there's no age and generations, but that we're showing up to birth something new right now, that there's something that we're hitting a point of like a critical mass or something. Does that make sense? Do you think that's...
Well, we spoke a little bit about the earth having its own soul, and it's the earth has its own journey. So maybe that's part of what Marci's trying to say too.
I think that it depends because many people come to the development world to make themselves feel good. And I'm meeting it a lot in my job that people say to me, how can I feel good and how can I pass this life lesson? And this a huge different process because feeling good, it depends on time and development, it's forever. If we don't have consciousness and if we don't have nothing, the development will happen. The feeling good, it depends on us. And when people try to catch courage and I don't fear and so on, and something happened and they back to fear and they don't want to feel and this part, this dualistic part, this is the end of this investigation in the air. We don't need to move for this place to feel good. We can create it from the infinity whenever we want. So I don't believe that development need to make us feel good. I believe that the feeling is the direction to the specific task that we need to do here. And this is my knowledge because when I find myself to tell people this, they said me, I didn't think that I have option. I think that my aim in this world is to feel good. So this is another option.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. So I want to turn this a little bit to something I was reading in on your website, but you talk about, and because we're the Warrior Parent podcast, I want to bring attention to this, but you talk about the role of parents and children, in that this is the deepest and most complicated of all excuse me, of all relationships that we have while we're here on the planet. So speak to that. I have a very complicated situation with my parents and have very complicated. So I'm intrigued by your answer to this question.
So I can speak about it with many directions. I want to start with the main life lesson. All of us have main life lesson that if we will pass it, we will look for the narrative of our mission in this world. And the children is present to the parents the main life lesson. For example, all my mother's life, she had medical intuition, and when I was born, she started to use it. And
Ah. Fascinating.
so,
Yeah.
so
So the children,
the
so the children are the teachers.
I have a conflict with this phrase because
Oh.
I believe when people put this responsibility to their children, specific in our generation, I talk about it a lot with my friends. They say, why my parents didn't want to guide me? Why I need to be a teacher? So I believe in collaborate. I can learn from my mother and she can learn from me. But
Yeah.
if we put it in a hierarchical situation, everyone will lose. Because if I would be a teacher, I will not have a privilege to learn. And I
Yeah.
learn a lot from my mother.
Yeah, and so that's lovely. So it's like a collaborative experience, and
Yes.
that's something we talked about. We had a gentle parenting coach on recently, and she talked about that you don't come in with this very like, I'm the teacher, you're the kid, you're going to hear everything I say is right. There's no room for me to be wrong. But when we're learning from each other, that's much
Yes.
more
We
generative
didn't
and
we didn't need this dualistic. You
yeah,
the teacher, I'm the teacher. You the teacher,
yeah,
I'm the teacher. So
yes,
another example that I can take, I have a lot of clients that wow use use and feel conflict and challenge with a collective life lesson that called trust. 99% of this humanity have trust in the list of their life lesson. And trust is a very hard life lesson. And the first station of this life lesson is in front of our children. Because if I don't believe in myself, if I don't have enough trust that don't depend of my behavior, and I have a child, I can believe that he or she can do what that I don't do, and I cannot put the limits for this child. And it's called symbiosis. And I talk with a lot of people about this problematic life lesson. I have a friend that after her son is 18 years old, something like this, and after 18 years old, she go away from this symbiosis, and she felt like the medical situation. It's part of the body, the energetic of the trust of what I want and I don't believe that I can make true, and I put it in my child. This is part of the body. This is an energetic part.
Yeah, so the whole energy piece, Marci and I believe a lot about energy and all. You can probably sense that from the two of us. But just for those of you who are watching, this is some of the work that Shani does, and she has done this work for us, where she basically gives you a map or a visual of your soul's journey, and an image of your soul. And so I think Marci is going to be able to post this, but
Which one do we want to see first, yours or mine?
I don't care. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, we're gonna start with Debbie.
But
I'm gonna.
these things are they're breathtaking. They will they will blow your mind.
I'm
So
gonna bring it up, and then
okay.
Shani can talk a little bit about what this is. So I
I
will share
have,
this for anyone who's watching.
before I will talk, I have a surprise for you,
Ooh.
because except of your seals, I made this another seals for your collaboration, for your seals and your seals
Oh,
together.
the two of
Ooh,
us together.
Yes.
how exciting.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I can send it to you here in the chat, and this is my combination your both energy.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm showing Debbie's right now. Anything you want to say about this? And then I'll bring up the other one, and then I'll bring up the dual one. That's pretty neat.
Yes, this is the map of 8 energetic bodies around us. Our physical body is in the center, in the center of the gold ring. And all these symbols and the structure around us, we can read all the information about the soul journey. The symbols is in the light language. That this is the soul of the language of the soul's world, and we can read here the number of past life, the main part of the vision, where the soul born, no the human being, the soul born, the soul can cut from the infinity and born with the specific being, fire, light, sky, vibration, or so on. And we can read here a lot of his souls. If you want, Debbie, I can read and give you an examples.
Okay. Yes, I'm afraid we're going to run out of time, but yes, we may have to continue this on in another part, but I'm wanting people to get this general idea, and that they, if they wish, can have an opportunity to do this work with you, Shani. So yes.
So your souls have 9 billion and 57 and 0.1978 years of light, and 197 life parts, with all the being. You was in fire world, you were in fire world, in water world, in vibration world, and here in the earth, totally 197 times. Your souls is a teacher. You learn new souls how to be ready to the life in the material and in the body. It happened between 9 years before we born. We have a practicum for this earth, and you came here. You came here to help with the change in investigation in the earth. You did your practicum in the light words. Your light words combine symbol and movement therapy. You have a knowledge about movement and healing together. You can focus in the physical body. Your knowledge focus on your legs, on your grounding legs, the connection between light and earth. And you can combine it. You have 44 collaborations here. It's a huge numbers of collaboration. 44 collaborations with the point of souls that you need to meet here and do your tasks here. You have a mission life. Mission life is a kind of a life part that you can be multidimensional in your body, outside your body, with your soul. Come your souls here. Another kind of a relationship with your souls. I can continue many hours.
We're going to run out of time for that, but that is fascinating.
Wow. Yeah, and Marci knows me, so she's kind of nodding. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And you have last 4, and you have, I must to say it, you have last 4 life lessons. And after your last 4 life lessons, you have remembrance situation.
Say that again. So say what?
After your last life lesson, you have 4 last life lessons. You will have a remembrance situation. Your soul will come here and give you your knowledge and your tasks here with the change of investigation.
Wow. Marci, we have work to do.
Yeah, well, we knew that, but now we're getting this beautiful visual representation of it.
Wow. Oh my
Amazing.
goodness. So, you guys, I think we're going to have to leave it there. Marci and I have another podcast scheduled, unfortunately, today. Well, not unfortunately, it's a good thing. But
Yes.
we are going to have Shani back. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about Marci and how we came together. And then Marci will leave some links for Shani so
Yeah.
that people who are listening can go and find her
Yeah,
and
you got to see these images too. We'll have to link to the images so that you can see what we're talking about. If you're just listening, you'll want to take a moment and take a look at that.
I sent you
yes.
the last images for your collaboration here in the chat, the third
Okay.
one.
Oh my goodness. I think the world needs more Shawnees. I'm sure they're all out there, but I think everybody who's ready to level up and to upgrade their path and their life in this world, just I think knowing and staying open to the possibility that we can think like this, right? We can think much bigger
Yes,
than
bigger,
what than what we are right now in this
bigger,
planet. I think
more
can
open, loving. Yes.
yes. We are so grateful for you, Shani. I think we're going to circle back with her this week, so there'll be
Yes. Well,
more
there'll
to
be a
come.
part two.
Yes. Oh my
Stay
gosh.
tuned. Thank you,
Thank
Shani.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And now for a moment about meditation and how it can help you and your family to self-regulate and mindfully return to a place of calm and centeredness. Our Cour Tools platform consists of a number of proven tools and techniques that are designed to reduce stress, anxiety, and overwhelm in spite of what's going on in your world. Meditation is just one of these powerful tools. And through a special partnership with Donna Appadoni, we have created a group of meditations available only on our platform and via Donna's own website. Here's Donna.
Zebras. Zebras in the dark. It was a photograph I saw on BBC from Africa. 3 zebras crossing a road at night, lit only by auto headlights, one in each direction. Hi, I'm Donna Appadoni, and I'm the person who writes and produces meditations that are used by Cour Experience. This meditation is about a picture I saw online. It was a picture taken of a zebra in the middle of the night. It made me wonder how many other animals and things are out there in the dark. And by that, I mean when we're not seeing the light. How many things are there around us that we just don't see because we're living in the darkness? This meditation reminds us that when we shine a light on everything around us, we can see more clearly. And then all of a sudden, we can see things that we didn't see before. And nothing is as scary when you have a light on it. Remember, whatever's going on with you right now, you can do anything you set your mind to do. What have I not seen because I am in the dark? What internal headlight in my spiritual toolbox can help me to see? In addition to the predators who lurk in the darkness, there are beautiful creatures. Creatures of every stripe. I want to see them.
Donna's book, called Drive Time Meditations, is a collection of 183 of her purpose-driven motivators. Drive Time Meditations is available on Amazon.
Thank you for listening to the Warrior Parent Podcast. You can find us at courexperience.org. Make sure you join us next week for another informative conversation to help you and your family show up mindfully, purposefully, and joyfully with each other and in your community.
Our meditation segment is produced by Donna Appadoni with music from Scott Holmes. The full collection of meditations is in Donna's book, Drive Time Meditations, available on Amazon and at donnaappadoni.com. Thanks to Samuel Hale, LLC, for sponsoring this podcast. Technical and marketing support comes from Inspire Your Brand. Our podcast editor is Justin Beeden. Opinions expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect those of the hosts, producers, or financial supporters. I'm Debbie DiManno.
And I'm Marci Mitchell. The Warrior Parent Podcast is a production of Cour Experience. If you resonate with the idea of creating a community to help support kids and families, won't you join us by following the podcast and sharing this episode? You can even write a review. It truly does take a village, and we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to the Warrior Parent Podcast, produced by Cour Experience. That's our nonprofit, and I would like to tell you about something big that's coming up for us. May 2nd, 2024 is the big day of giving in the greater Sacramento area. This is a day for nonprofits to fundraise and really strive to meet their annual goals. And for the first time, Cour Experience will be participating in this big event. I want to tell you a little bit about our nonprofit, Cour Experience, and our Cour Tools app, which brings non-clinical modalities that are scientifically proven to decrease stress and anxiety to your home. They are appropriate for kids, for teens, for young adults, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, anyone who wants to lower their stress and anxiety. And our tools include heart-brain coherence, EFT tapping, meditation, yoga, bilateral tapping, art expression, nutrition, hydration, sleep protocols, and journaling. And there are more on the app. You can find out more at courexperience.org. On the big day of giving, if you would like to support our vision of a calmer, more centered world with less anxiety, depression, and suicidality, please give to Cour Experience on the big day of giving, May 2nd, or any day. You can go to our show notes or our website for a link and more information on how to give. We really believe in a world that has less anxiety, less stress, less suicidality, where people can show up as their authentic selves, in joy and purpose, and living their vision. We appreciate your help in getting us there. Thank you from Cour Experience and the Warrior Parent Podcast.